whatever career you choose to be in, whatever career you wanted to pursue or are pursuing, pick something that you like doing and then become the expert in that field and do it on social media.
Hey guys, this is Alan and welcome to the Xploit-it Podcast. I'm Alan Latter, and next to me there on the screen is Sage Berger, and we are Xploit-it Creative Productions. And welcome to our Xploit-it Podcast. And this morning we're going to talk about all things social media, but we're specifically talking about the value that you as an employee or an entrepreneur within an organization or an employer can bring to your organization or business in the social media sphere.
Hi everybody, Sage Berger here. And the first point that you could do on social media to increase the value of your company as an employee or an employer, the first point I would say is building a personal brand. You see, people make the mistake of not thinking that building a personal brand can help you. But what a personal brand does is it puts exposure out onto social media. So whatever career you choose to be in, whatever career you wanted to pursue or are pursuing, pick something that you like doing and then become the expert in that field. And do it on social media. Put out content that adds value to other people's lives within that sphere of things that then you would be seen as an expert. So as an employee or an entrepreneur or as a business owner or as just an employer, what you can do is that you can build a personal brand to expand on any social media that you are doing at the moment already.
Fantastic. Yeah. Branding is important when it comes to positioning. And branding creates trust. When people know your brand, they trust you. When you open a tin of Coca-Cola, I shouldn't have said Coca-Cola on social media, but when you open a product like that, you know what it is because there's brand awareness. And so when you buy that, you know what you're getting. Whatever the cool drink is, you buy it. You know, when you open that tin, there's consistency that in product that goes with that brand. And so brand awareness is very, very important. And building a personal brand creates a space in the social media sea that says you can trust me. You know what you get with me because this is my brand. It's not all over the place. It's something specific. Fantastic. Thank you. So that's an excellent point. We move on to our next point.
Yeah, absolutely. Point number 2 here by me is read. I would recommend read at least one book every week. That is what the high paid people in the world do, is that they read a minimum of a book a week, because what that does is it helps you to expand and it helps you to learn new strategies to improve yourself, to become a better expert, so that you can build that personal brand that will ultimately be the plumbing to what the word of mouth would be for your company or for your product.
Excellent point. Thanks, Sage. Guys, we all have excuses why we don't have time to read, but we have to make the time to read. Reading expands our mind, and I'm a big Warren Buffett fan. I've always enjoyed listening to him and watching his career and his business, and he's on the Forbes top 100. He's been there for I don't know how long. In fact, he's on the top 10 and has been for like a whole generation. But Sage was telling me something interesting. I'm going to remind you of your conversation with me, Sage. You mentioned to me that Warren Buffett reads, if I remember correctly, it was either 30 books a week or a month. But he reads like
the equivalent of 30 books in a month. Yes.
In a month. So he is constantly reading.
He reads stock journals, all kinds of things, but he's constantly feeding his mind with what you just explained there. Yeah.
So to me, it's a no-brainer. You want to mirror success, you've got to read 100%.
The third point I wrote down when I was thinking about this was in terms of posts. Like when you are going to build a personal brand, and if you're going to read and you are going to improve yourself and you're going to implement those 2 points first, then you're going to have to put posts out. Now, those posts, the ideal thing that you want to do is you want to always focus on social proof, meaning that you're putting a post out that is helping the person that is viewing the content to understand that you are currently the expert doing this. There is visual proof, social proof on the posts that you are doing what you say you can do and you're doing what you said you would do, or that your product is doing what it is saying it is going to do. So post social proof, if you use that 3 to 5 times a week, that would automatically generate new business or new word of mouth at least for you or your company.
Excellent. Something I've learned recently is in order to be seen in the sea called the internet and called social media, which is just thousands and thousands of people posting and putting content. And the algorithms are designed in such a way that if you're posting once a week, once a month, you're not really going to get noticed. And so you've got to be posting more often. And the more often you're posting, the more you get noticed. It's almost like the opposite of what kind-hearted people would want to do. When you're kind-hearted and you're at a children's party, you want to draw the child in the corner that's not speaking. You want to draw them out and draw them into the game. And the kid that's making a lot of noise, you want to control them and get them a little bit quieter. Social media works the opposite. The kid that's quiet in the corner, the business that's quiet in the corner and not posting won't get noticed. He'll just get quieter. And the business here with the big mouth that's posting will just get bigger and bigger and bigger and fill the room more and more. And so posting is essential. Then Stage, I've got a question.
The biggest thing is that you need to post. That is the first thing. But then after you've post, you have to actually take feedback from the market. When you take feedback from the market is going to tell you, we like this, we don't like this, we like that, we don't like that. And if you are talking to your perfect customer, then you know what to say to them already. So the market will give you feedback on where you need to make your micro adjustments to make the content more relevant to those people. And that is the most important part of posting. Not the quality of the video. Yes, better quality video is better. You should always have the best quality that you could possibly produce with your resources. But outside of that, quality is not really something that you should focus on too much. What you need to do first is you need to make sure that all of your posts goes out. You are reading the comments and you are having a look at what it is that you need to micro adjust in order to make it more effective to your perfect customer. If you can get that right, then the quality and the quantity of your content will increase at a later stage.
Okay, so almost like machine gun play. You post, take feedback, adjust your sites, adjust where you're shooting, shoot. Like they do in a military campaign.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thanks, Sage. And then back to your next point.
What I have here on a thing that you could do on social media to increase the value of your company is that you can act as if. And what I mean with that is there's so many people that just go to a job every single day and they sit down, they do the same stuff at the same time, they listen to the same person, they take the same instructions, and their life just never go anywhere. And they wonder why, but it is because they're not acting as if. If you go to a job, make sure that you pick a job that you like so that you can actually act as if you are the person who owns the company. When you can act as if you are the person who owns the company in a respectful way, then you're going to raise the value that you bring to the table for the company. And that is the fundamental side of your behavior that will allow you to then on social media portray yourself as an expert, because you actually are the expert. You act as if you are the expert within the company. You know, as an employee, many people, like most people, more than most people actually, as an employee, what they do is they just rock up and do the minimum to get the money that they need to be paid at the end of the month. But what if you actually rock up every single day and you do the minimum that you need to get paid with no excuses, because that's your job. You don't get a high five for doing your job. You get a high five for doing more than your job. If you can have that mindset and implement that into your day, suddenly the value of your company goes through the roof. Because every time when your value goes up, the value of the company attached to you on social media also goes up.
Showing up and owning, you know, taking ownership of the role you're playing, where you are. And as you say, it's going, you know, if I'm just showing up and punching a card, I don't take ownership. But when I take real ownership and say, I'm going to make this space that's my responsibility, I'm going to make it work to the best of my human ability, you know,
Right.
then you really add value. The employee who punches a card, yes, he adds some value, but it's minimal. But the employee who punches a card but goes way beyond, you know, they really, that's what makes companies successful, and companies that have harnessed that. You know, I'm a human capital specialist, and companies that harness that aspect, that where they can get people into their organization that are of the culture of an entrepreneur. In other words, that will act as if they own the company within the gambit of what they do. And we're not talking arrogance here, we're talking performance here. And all of a sudden, you've got a very successful company.
Exactly. Yeah, it compounds over time, and it always comes back to the team that you put together, the people that surround you. If those people are like-minded and they're going to act as if they are actually an entrepreneur within the company, and they add value, and the more value they add, the more the company will give back to them. If the company does that same thing, when you as a business owner have the same mindset, when you see, oh, this person actually is rising by their own accord, you as the authoritative person within that sphere there needs to go and influence that person with some form of better compensation. It doesn't always have to be money, but there must be some form of compensation when you acknowledge someone thinking like an entrepreneur instead of an employee.
Fantastic, Sage. Thank you very much for the points you've brought across. And guys, we hope that this has added value to you in this massive, overwhelming thing called social media. But it needs to be managed, needs to be directed. You need to learn and grow and find the ways to act as if.